Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the gymnasium at Milford High School as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. We are in the gym this evening for girls volleyball action as the 1-7 Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks get set to welcome in the 4-3 Sharon Lady Eagles. A Davenport Division rivalry about to unfold, and for this Milford team, the 2017 fall sports season unfolding whole lot differently than what we experienced a season ago back in 2016. At this point last year, the team was riding a wave of momentum, 7-2 overall on the season and already coming close to closing in on a playoff berth. But again, as we mentioned the record just a moment ago, a 1-7 start to the season for this Lady Hawks volleyball team. And it's been a lot of difficult losses for Milford early on the year. Their one victory of the season came back on September 26th. That was 2 matches ago against the Foxborough Lady Warriors. Other than that, the only other game in which Milford has claimed a set victory was back on September 19th, winning the first set of an eventual 3-1 loss against the Canton Lady Bulldogs. Other than that, the rest of their losses this season have all been sweeps. 6 3-set sweep defeats for this Milford team to absorb so far in the early part of the season, already getting close to the halfway mark of the year. So the margin for error moving forward for this Milford volleyball team is very slim. They can only afford to lose 3 more matches the rest of the way if they hope to still sneak their way into the MIAA playoffs for a second straight year. So definitely playing with a sense of desperation as they move forward into this season. They do have a good matchup for them, a matchup that has been successful for Milford historically over recent seasons, with the Sharon Eagles coming to town. Sharon with a 4-3 record, but Milford has won each of the last 3 years against Sharon. They have swept the season series, 6 straight victories for Milford against Sharon dating back to the 2014 fall sports season. So there is success in this matchup for Milford against Sharon. They certainly hope that will present itself as this game gets underway here tonight. Milford versus Sharon. Again, Davenport Division teams clash here on the Milford hardwood as we will get this game started in just moments. So varsity volleyball action coming your way next right here on Milford TV. Right back inside the Milford gym, time to get this girls volleyball match underway. Milford taking on the visiting Sharon Eagles. Again, Milford coming in 5th place out of the 6 teams in the Davenport division at 1-7 overall, 1-6 within league play. Sharon right now in a tie for 3rd place with Canton. Sharon at 4-3 overall and also 4-3 within league play. Sharon with a resurgent year this year compared to where they were a season ago, as right now they get their personnel situated before we see the opening serve of the match. Sharon winning just 4 games in all of 2016. They finished the year at 4-14 overall and 5th place in the standings, but they ended up coming out of the chute this year winning their first 4, so they've already tied their win mark from a season ago. Already looking to be in position to build upon last year, but they end up relinquishing the opening point of the match to Milford, despite opening the game on serve. And so Milford starts out in front, and that will send the senior captain, Kelly Reichert, behind the service line. A good hard serve away, met at the back line by the star player and captain for this Sharon team, Jess Allen. More on her as the match goes along. The libero on the back line for Sharon, able to intercept. And the double hit on the Sharon side allows Milford to open up with back-to-back points. Milford's one and only win so far on the season coming last week against the Foxborough Warriors. As the point once again goes on the Milford side. September 26th on the road was when Milford was able to earn that 3-set sweep victory, but they followed that up with a 3-0 loss to North Attleboro on September 29th, another road game. North Attleboro right now all alone in 1st place in the Davenport division standings, 9-1 overall on the season. Hard shot from the left side for Jess Allen of Sharon, returned back over by Jill Valenzola, the captain on the front line for Milford. Now the cross-court shot met by Kyra Alves, another of the 4 captains on the Milford side, and the Lady Hawks get the kill. Starting off well in this match grabbing the first 4 points. The service game continues for Reichert. Getting met first by Allen. A softer shot lobbed over. Alves gets to it. Now from the right side, that was number 17, Annabelle Murray, a junior. And the double hit now on the Milford side will finally end the service game for Reichert after she was able to collect 3 straight points on the serve. So 4-1 now the score. As we see the second captain for Sharon, Corey German, on serve. A diving save on the other side of the floor for Kyra Alves. Getting the dig, but Milford can't return it. Sharon able to narrow the gap, looking to break a lengthy losing streak to this Milford team. They get some help from the net that time as German's serve just barely grazes over the tape and lands on the other side of the floor to make it now just a 1-point lead early on in this opening set. The serve continues for German. There's the dig for Alves, played off the net, and Milford able to get it over courtesy of Sabrina Harstick on the left side. Now over the block attempt for Milford. They set it up for Harstick yet again. This time a high arcing shot met on the back line. And from the right side, a mishit by number 20, Naomi Topal, a senior for Sharon. And that allows Milford to walk away with the point on the longest volley so far of the match. And now Jillian Valenzola, who has been having a very good year despite the tough record for Milford. Jill Valenzola with good numbers, stepping up into a larger role for this team as Sharon's attacking shot goes beyond the back line. As we take a peek at some of the numbers overall on the season, Jill Valenzola with 17 aces. Nearly had one there, but nicely dug out. They will indeed award the ace. So there is ace number 18 on the season, right on cue. Dropping that one down just in front of Corey German. So Jill Valenzola coming into this week's action 10th in the Hockomock League in aces, now has 18 to try to move up that list. Allen able to return it over with a single shot. Now Murray delivering it over one-handed to the back line for Valenzola. Now set up the middle for Juliana Tracy, but her shot attempt is blocked up front. Jill Valenzola also 16th in the Hockomock League in blocks. She has 10 blocks coming into the game. Sharon trying to keep this one alive with two hands. They're able to loft it back over. Valenzola gets there. Emily Pierre-Gustavo into the game. Gets her hands on it before Murray returns it over. To the back line. They'll now set it up once again for Harstick. A hard smash. Diving play to dig it out on the back line for the libero, Rachel Brandis. Now Pierre-Gustavo stays in the action. Annabelle Murray gets it over, keeps it in, and Milford gets the point. Emily Pierre-Gustavo with her first season of volleyball action on this varsity team, looking much more comfortable than when we saw her in action in the very first game of the season just about a month ago. An excellent natural athlete, very good instincts, and showing them there, was able to keep that play alive, and also nicely done by Annabelle Murray. So Milford with an 8-4 lead as the serve now goes to Brianna Maeda. Milford unable to dig that one out. It was Maeda who came up to make the dive, but came up short. Milford continues to lead now at 8-5. And the serve now for the junior Abby Fine. Hard shot to the back line for Valenzola. Now up the middle, Juliana Tracy. And no one there to play it off the net. Milford was so successful at home last season, but so far winless here on their home floor. They would love to put an end to that here tonight. Home losses so far on the season against King Philip, Taunton, Stoughton. As this is just their 4th home game so far on the year, so they've had a good deal of action on the road to this point, playing in Franklin, Canton, Hopedale, Foxborough, and North Attleboro. This is their 9th match of this 2017 fall sports season, and the lead now back down to just 1 point for Milford. As it is the captain, Jess Allen, on serve. Couple of shots going into the net, first by Maeda, then by Tracy, and that ties things up at 9. Jess Allen proving to be one of the better girls volleyball players in the Hockomock League. Reichert to Maeda and then back to Reichert, who was able to return it, but now the kill from the left side for Sharon, and they will take a 10-9 lead. Jess Allen with 63 kills coming into the match here tonight, which is 9th in the Hockomock League. She's also 9th in the Hawk in digs with 40, has 17 aces on the season, good for 11th place in the league. So a very well-rounded player, able to get it done offensively and defensively. As that shot is very well placed on the Milford side. I do believe that was Tracy who got her hands on that one and dropped it in for the kill. She will now check out as Kyra Alves, the libero, comes out onto the floor to take over on serve, with the match all tied up at 10. The Milford bench trying to stay active here early as that ball went hard off the back line. No return, so an ace for Alves. Puts Milford back on top. Everyone on the Milford bench standing, trying to keep the energy up for their teammates out on the floor. Did that ball stay in? No, it did not. Diving for it was Alves, but she did not make contact, and the ball landed beyond the back line. Milford up 12-10 now as the serve continues for Alves. Lofting it over this time, met at the back by Rachel Brandis. Valenzola sending it high over the net. Kate Lobiser into the game. She gets her hands on it. Now a diving play by Brandis. She saves it. But the violation on the Sharon side gives Milford another point, starting to settle into another groove now. Landing in no man's land, a lack of communication that time. Jogging over toward it was Abby Fine on the Sharon side, but she was not able to connect. No other reinforcements came in. And so now a 14-10 lead for the Lady Hawks, as Alves that time cannot clear the net, and her service game will come to an end. 14-11, Milford leads it. A much larger bench on the Milford side. 12 players total on the roster for Sharon, as Milford commits the infraction. And a couple of points so far in this first set where it has looked like Milford's been on the verge of pulling away, but Sharon has been able to stem the tide and narrow the gap. Milford this time able to get the deflection, and that leads to a 15-12 lead, as we will see head coach Dan Seaver continue to cycle through personnel. Annabelle Murray coming back out onto the floor, as does Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who will take over on serve. And getting a little too much on that one. Emily used to supplying extra base power. That one's certainly sailing far beyond the back line. To make it a 15-13 margin, Milford remains in front in this opening set between Milford and Sharon. After a brief pause, Ariana Shabbat, the senior, will take over on serve. All upperclassmen on this varsity team for Sharon. They kept much of their core from last season, and so now all juniors and seniors on their varsity roster. Milford mixing in a few underclassmen with a quartet of sophomores making this varsity team. Pierre-Gustavo trying to save that one. Looked like she made contact with the net, and that will tie this set up at 15 all. So as we get deeper in, things stay tight between these two squads as the serve dips over the net. Now coming back into play. And after the serve was Shabbat. Hard shot to the back line. Milford keeping it alive. Reichert with her back to the net. And that one does not stay in on the near side. It just barely missed grazing the roof, but then came down outside the near sideline. And so Sharon is able to retake the lead now at 16-15, and you can make it 17 points now in the column for the Lady Eagles. Trying to break their win mark from a season ago, just 4 wins in all of last year. They come in to this contest here today at 4-3. Able to establish now an 18-15 lead. We haven't seen a timeout called on either side so far in this match. You have to wonder if another point goes to Sharon, if we might see Coach Seaver rally the troops. Joe Valenzola with a hard smash, but Sharon able to absorb it. They return it back over the net. And now with 2 hands, Valenzola pushes it back over as the volley continues. She gives away this time to Alves. They now set it up the middle for Valenzola. And now good quick reaction for Jillian Valenzola to keep the play alive. Now back over for Alves. They'll set it up for Reichert this time from the left side, and it's Shabbat who's able to keep it going. Now Kyra Alves with another dig. Pierre-Gustavo to Alves, and that one deteriorating on the Milford side, and after a very long volley back and forth, both sides making some good plays to keep that volley going, but eventually it leads to a 19-15 Sharon lead. Now Pierre-Gustavo for Kelly Reichert on the right side this time. Her attacking shot goes too long. And Sharon now opening up a 5-point advantage, getting late in this set, now 20-15. Now it's Harstick from the back. Valenzola up the middle, getting over the block, but Sharon keeps it alive. Now Reichert, and pushed over by Valenzola, but just outside that near sideline once again. Good idea for Valenzola, but sending it just too long. And now Milford getting into dangerous territory, and Coach Seaver still with no timeouts taken. Reichert hits it over, met by Shabbat. And Milford finally able to stop that lengthy momentum string for the Eagles. It was a double hit on the Sharon side. And so Milford will turn to Kelly Reichert, trying to get Milford back into this opening set, trailing 21-16, and Reichert will come through with the ace. Much needed for the senior. Reichert now testing Naomi Topal on the left side. Valenzola playing well in front of the net. Now to the back line for Alves. From the left side, it's Harstick. She fires it into the net. And on the ensuing serve for Sharon, we see the ball delivered into the net on the visitor side, so that makes it a 22-18 margin. Valenzola now hard up the middle for Brandis, eventually returned by Milford, and Milford sneaking it just over the net. It stays in bounds. Milford will take points any way they can get them. Cutting the deficit now to 3 as the serve continues for the captain, Valenzola. Again, back to Brandis, now from the left side for Allen. She sends it too long. 22-20, as this set will come right down to the wire. Valenzola with a laser just grazing over the net, but an excellent dig by the libero, Rachel Brandis. And now Milford with too much heat on that return shot. And that brings it to 23-20. And after the nice defensive play, the senior libero, Rachel Brandis, will take over on serve. Sharon needing just 2 more points to claim this opening set. Here's Murray from the right side, and it eventually drops between about 4 Sharon players. Lack of communication that time on the visitors' side. As Pierre Gustavo will check out. Kate Lobuser back out onto the floor. And also Brianna Maeda, the junior, also back out onto the floor. She will take over on serve. Milford down by just 2, but very little margin for error. Maeda sends it to Allen. She keeps it alive, now gets it right back and is able to beat the block attempt for Milford to get the kill. And it's now set point for the Lady Eagles at 24-21. Back behind the service line goes the junior Abby Fine, hoping to close it out. Cannot clear the net. Can Milford find a way to get on a roll here? It'll be Sabrina Harstick on serve. Good hard serve away, and she will get the ace. Cuts it back down to a 1-point lead for Sharon. Still set point for the Lady Eagles. But Harstick hoping to tie it up. And this time cannot clear the net, and that will give Sharon the 25th and decisive point of this opening match. Back and forth, this opening set, I should say. A competitive one, but Sharon catching fire there in the later stages, and they ultimately take it by a margin of 25-23. So Milford falling into an early 1-set-to-none hole. We will flip the court here in the Milford gym, and we'll be back with set number 2 when we come back next here on coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. The last time these two teams played, it was the final day of Milford's regular season in 2016. Milford honoring their seniors on senior night. It was a very festive atmosphere as the Lady Hawks prepared for the playoffs. And they ultimately swept their way to victory against Sharon, but the Lady Eagles coming out strong in this match here in the 2017 fall season. Outlasting Milford in the first set, 25-23. So now we begin second set action. Milford on serve to start. but Sharon ends up with the kill. Lady Eagles take the first point as they will send Corey German behind the service line. Kyra Alves digs it out. Now Valenzola up the middle. And now a block in front. So Milford quickly ties it up. Obviously a lot of personnel changes for this girls volleyball program from last year to this year. We talked about it a bit in the first game we covered, the first match we covered for these two teams, as Sharon delivers it long behind the back line. You think about Ali Zagami, the kills leader from last season, Ali Collins and Lauren Zarangian were so clutch, racking up assists. Also think about Jane Schuler, who ended up serving almost as a closer for this team in the playoffs, going out there on serve to close out many of Milford's set victories throughout their playoff run last season. So a lot of faces changing, other seniors leaving from last year's group as well. So a lot of key personnel no longer in the fold. So you knew there was going to be an adjustment for this team, but you also look up and down this bench with the second set tied up at 2. And a lot of proven winners on this roster. You think of the complement of softball players on this team, from Emily Pierre-Gustavo to Kelly Reichert. Sabrina Harstick also a part of that state championship softball team. You think about the girls basketball players who had experience in the playoffs a season ago between Jill Valenzola and Juliana Tracy. Kate Lobiser also a part of that basketball team. So some multi-sport stars, some players with a pedigree of success at the high school level. So this team has a nucleus that can put together a run going into the second half of the season, as Jill Valenzola delivers the serve long, putting Sharon back in front early on in this second set, 4-3. And Coach Seaver with a couple of words on technique for Valenzola after sending that one long. Sabrina Harstick now from the left side, sending it off the antenna. Now a 5-3 Sharon lead. We saw things just kind of slip away from Milford late in that second set, having a lead midway through, but Sharon going on about a 5 or 6 straight point streak, and that ended up making the difference. Sharon putting together another one of those streaks here early, taking the 6-3 lead. On serve, the senior Naomi Topal. Set up nicely by Pierre Gustavo for the hard attacking shot up the middle, and now blocked in front by Juliana Tracy. And a 2-point Sharon lead as Kate Lobiser will check back out onto the floor. As will Brianna Maeda. Maeda on serve. Juliana Tracy getting that block a moment ago. She came into this match with 13 blocks on the season. In the top 20 in the league in that category. And now dug out and back by Valenzola. Now Tracy goes into the dive for it, but Kate Lobiser, Brianna Maeda giving chase. Neither could catch up to it as the ball drifted out on the near sideline. Now a 7-4 lead for Sharon with Jess Allen on serve. And the infraction once again on the Milford side. The only team behind Milford in the Davenport standings coming into today's action is the only team Milford's been able to beat on the season, the Foxborough Lady Warriors, who have also won just a single match. They are 1-9 on the year, but winless within league play. Valenzola able to absorb that shot on the back line. Now flicked over by Tracy. Set up the middle. Tracy with the block. But Sharon able to hang on. They return it over. Tracy tries again, this time for the flip shot. But it's blocked on the front line by Jada Johnson, the sophomore. Such a great play initially by Tracy, but somehow those bounces going Sharon's way to keep the play alive. They were able to return it. And ultimately, Sharon getting the point, but now on serve, they deliver it long. So a 9-5 margin with Sharon in front. It's now Harstick on serve, had a chance to tie that match right at the end. Tie that first set, I should say, right at the end. But ended up delivering the serve into the net to give Sharon the 25-23 set win. But here Milford gets the kill. Nice lively crowd in the gym for this match here tonight. Milford's first match into the month of October. As a couple of Sharon players collide, but again, the ball stays in the air long enough for the Eagles to recover. Now Kelly Reichert sends a hard attacking shot from the left side. And despite the diving attempt by Valenzola, Sharon gets the kill. It was Abby Fine who was able to return the Milford shot. Up 6-10, it's Jada Johnson now on serve. The ball changing directions on Juliana Tracy, but she was able to stay with it. Maeda going into the dive on the Milford side. She couldn't reach that sinking liner from Sharon. The Lady Eagles get the kill, and they open up an 11-6 lead. Now met on the back line by Valenzola. Reichert with a very hard shot that Jess Allen was able to meet. Sharon returns, and the ball landing in no man's land on the Milford side. And you can see Kelly Reichert trying to direct traffic after the play for who should have gone after that ball. Kate Lobiser now from the right side. Sharon getting that one over and getting the point. Milford called for the infraction, and that allows Sharon now to take a 13-6 lead. The serve continues for Johnson. Captain Reichert to the captain, Jess Allen. Now Valenzola with the pushover. Hard shot from the front by Corey German for Sharon, but it goes long over the far sideline, and Milford finally able to end the service game for Jada Johnson. They trail it 13-7 as Kyra Alves will serve it out. Floated over, Alves gets to it. Maeda setting it up for Valenzola. Looked like Lobiser also went in for it as well. And Milford taking some heat off that return shot on the front line, but it ends up landing in the middle of the floor. Now a 7-point lead for Sharon, up 14-7, trying to take a commanding 2-0 lead. Sabrina Harstick with the dig, ends up sending it clear over the net. And now Sharon sends it long. Pierre Gustavo, along with Annabelle Murray, checking back onto the floor. Pierre Gustavo will serve. by Rachel Brandis. Now the flip shot just over the reach of Valenzola. Play back and forth right at net. Now Reichert, Harstick comes in, she flips it over, getting a piece of the net on the way by. Now Harstick again, Pierre Gustavo. And Valenzola with good reactions, right with the fingertips was able to send it over the net. Now on the right side for Murray. Valenzola again keeping it alive for Reichert, and Kelly Reichert able to get the kill. Milford surviving after a lengthy point. Pierre Gustavo again sending it to the left of the back line. Now Reichert again, a hard smash. Ariana Shabbat keeps it alive. Now with two hands, Jody Goldenberg returns it. Valenzola kept alive nicely in front by Sharon. And Reichert a hard shot this time, testing the right side, but sends it long. German on serve. The deflection off of Milford and out to make it 16-9. We mentioned the 4 straight victories out of the gate for Sharon to really get their season jump-started as the serve now from German goes long. Started with a couple of hard-fought victories, full 5-setters against Taunton and Oliver Ames. Then a 3-1 victory at home against Attleboro before a 3-set sweep against Foxborough to make it 4 straight wins. But since then, playing against some much tougher competition, losing in 3 sets to North Attleboro back on September 19th, a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Canton. And then most recently, a 3-1 loss against the upstart Stoughton Lady Knights, who have been a very difficult team to face this season. As right now, Sharon starts to pull away. Their largest lead of this second set so far, up 18-10. On serve is the senior Rachel Brandis. Emily Pierre Gustavo, a nice set for Valenzola. She'll try to do it again. As Valenzola delivers it straight up the middle. Jada Johnson there initially, but Milford finally gets the kill. Sharon pushed Milford to the limit the first time the two teams squared off last season. Milford barely escaping Sharon High School with a 3-2 victory. Sharon setting this one up for Jess Allen, the hard attacking shot that just sneaks in front of the back line. Game taking place on September 28th of 2016, where Milford was, again, just barely able to collect a 3-2 victory against Sharon in a very competitive match. It was not nearly as competitive when the two teams met later on in the season, as we mentioned, on October 26th, the final day of the regular season for Milford, a 3-0 victory. Milford with 3-1 victories against Sharon in both of their meetings in 2015, and also winning 3-1 in each of the 2 regular season meetings against Sharon in 2014. But a very different complexion to this match so far, a 25-23 set victory for Sharon to open the match, and now here in the second set, it's now 20-12 in favor of Sharon, as Brianna Maeda will serve it out for the Lady Hawks. Met by the libero on the Sharon side. And Kelly Reichert up to the front, but Sabrina Harstick had it travel beyond her reach. And Sharon 4 points away from a victory here in set 2. The serve continues for the captain, Jess Allen. (21-13). Milford with some ground to make up. Sabrina Harstick, now a senior, sneaking that one just over the top of the net. Kate Lobiser and Juliana Tracy trying to team up for the block. The ball travels over the net, but out over the near sideline. Serve back over to the Sharon side as fresh personnel comes out onto the court. It's a momentary confusion. And now finally set to go. A serve for Jada Johnson. And now too long for Reichert. Like she fired that one over off the wrist, gesturing to the wrist after she made the shot. Not getting that one in the spot she wanted. Now Maeda flipping it over, faking the set. She sent it across the middle of the net. Now Reichert hammers it home, but right to Jada Johnson. Too many hits on the Sharon side that time to make the score 23-14.
Hey.
Now Kyra Alves, Milford trying to keep the intensity up on the floor despite the 9-point deficit in this set. Here's Brandis with two hands, gets it over. Set up again for Reichert. Kicks off the front line, but Sharon keeps it alive and drops it down in front of Brianna Maeda. The kill going to Corey German, the senior captain. And set point once again for Sharon. A 10-point lead, up 24-14. Now on serve, it is Ariana Shabbat. To the back for Harstick. Now over the middle by Valenzola. The blast to the back, it touches down just outside the back line.
Let's go Eagles!
And now at 24-15. The serve once again goes to Pierre Gustavo. High arc to that serve, met in back by Emma Dunlay. And now returned long. So Milford grabbing a couple of points back, still trailing 24-16. Continues to be match point for Sharon. Now to the front line. Jody Goldenberg receiving that serve, but the double hit by the Lady Eagles, and now a 24-17 score. Brandis, Sharon get it back over, they do so cleanly. Now Valenzola with the hard blast. And Jill gets the kill. Make it 24-18. 3 straight points on the serve for Pierre Gustavo. And will this one stay in? It just does. Sharon bailed on it. And so Emily Pierre Gustavo gets the ace.
Let's go, Eagles, you've got it.
And Jess Allen, who had taken a seat on the bench, now comes back out onto the floor as Sharon struggles to close out the second set, now 24-19. Pierre Gustavo testing the right side. And dropping that one down in front of Sabrina Harstick. And that finishes off a 25-19 second set victory for Sharon. So Milford made it interesting there in the end, getting 4 straight points on the service game for Emily Pierre Gustavo, but too big a deficit to overcome. And Milford now drops into a 2-0 hole against Sharon. The Lady Eagles will have a chance to close out the match as we will start the third set in our coverage of Milford Lady Hawks volleyball when we come back next. Stay tuned to this coverage of Milford High School athletics right here on Milford TV. Welcome back inside the Milford gym, continuing coverage of Milford Lady Hawks volleyball here on Milford TV. I am Tim Coette on the call. Sharon with now a 2-0 lead over Milford. 25-23 in a competitive opening set. Sharon with a little easier time handling Milford in set 2, winning it 25-19. And now the Lady Eagles, who look to break out of a 3-game losing streak, hoping to close it out here. Milford trying to claim a set to stay alive in this match. We talk about the struggles Milford has had. Not only have they lost each of their home matches so far on the season, they have yet to claim a single set win here in the Milford gym so far in 2017. A 3-set sweep at home against King Philip on September 8th. A 3-0 loss to Taunton on September 13th. And also a 3-set sweep at the hands of the Stoughton Lady Knights back on September 25th. Excuse me, it's September 15th. So it's actually been quite a while since Milford last played here on their home gym. 4 straight road games over the span of September 19th to the 29th. Milford able to take the opening point of this third set, and now Kelly Reichert on serve. The left side deflected in front. And Sabrina Harstick eventually able to two-hand it over. Now the push up the middle by Sharon. That one just sneaking over the net, just eluding the hand of Jody Goldenberg, and Milford able to get the kill. Fans still lively in the stands here in the Milford gym, hoping to see a big Milford comeback. As Sharon tries for the cross-court shot from Corey German, but she delivers it outside the far sideline. The football teams from these two schools will clash coming up on Saturday. That game taking place in Sharon. It was a game that was initially supposed to take place on Friday night, as Sharon has been in the process of installing lights on their football field. Expected to have those lights ready to go for this football season, but complications have caused them to continue to be playing daytime football on Saturdays down in Sharon. So that game moved to this Saturday afternoon. Milford and Sharon football teams before Milford's football program returns home for the final 2 weeks before the playoffs are decided. Milford at 1-3 on the season. Can catch Milford's Week 2 game against against Franklin, and Milford's Week 4 game against North Attleboro on our Milford TV educational channel and also on YouTube. You can find all of our fall sports coverage so far this season on our YouTube page, My Milford TV. Milford opening up a quick 5-1 lead in this third set. The serve for Valenzola. Couple of shots high in the air before Brandis is able to send it over the net. Now Harstick gets the deflection off the hands of Brandis. And Milford now with a 5-point lead. Coach Seaver clapping his hands from the sidelines. It's more like what he wants to see out of this group. The first-year head coach taking over for Linda Zakili, who had to step down officially from that head coach's role this year as she continues her battle with cancer. We continue to wish Linda the very best. We did see Linda in the gym for the first game we covered earlier this season. I don't believe Coach Zakili is in the gym tonight. But now our first timeout called of this match happens as Milford opens up a 7-1 lead in set 3. Milford with their backs up against the wall, but playing well here early in the third set. And so again, taking you through the Hockomock League standings to this point of the season. We are right now on the 3rd of October. Things getting serious now as we approach the midway point in this fall sports season. As we mentioned earlier in the match, North Attleboro with a very good start to their season. Right now leading the Davenport division at 9-1 overall, 8-0 within league play. Right behind them, the Stoughton Lady Knights at 9-2. They are 7-1 within league play. Canton right now in 3rd place. They are right now a 500 team at 4-4. 4-4 within league play. Then it's this Sharon team at 4-3 overall in a tie with Canton for 3rd place, with then Milford and Foxborough rounding out those Davenport division standings. So you've seen a bit of a changing of the guard in the Davenport division this season. Canton and Milford really ruling this division last season and much of the last decade. But both teams taking a bit of a step back this season. Canton still in the thick of it at 4-4, but they have certainly come back to earth a bit from the lofty standards they'd set for themselves in recent seasons. Of course, going all the way to a sectional final game last season. Out of the timeout now, Harstick with a hard attacking shot. Canton keeps it alive. Now Jess Allen bluffs the hard shot, then uses the finesse shot to get it over the net, but Milford ultimately getting the kill. Valenzola still on serve. To the back line for German. Now Allen, and keeps it in. Allen getting past Valenzola, who might have been a hair out of position as she checks over with the head coach. After that point, went to Sharon. The Lady Eagles down 8-2 as Rachel Brandis will serve it out. Two-handed by Kelly Reichert, and Annabelle Murray just able to punch it over. Dug out by Valenzola. Here's Harstick. Hard attacking shot, diving. Save made by Brandis. The volley continues. It's Murray now to the back line. Brandis with a much easier time handling that shot. Now Allen to the back line where it's absorbed by Valenzola, taking that one off the chest, but Milford called for the infraction. Narrows the gap a bit for Sharon to 8-3. Pierre Gustavo now setting it up for Murray. He's gotten a good deal of action here over these last few series. The Lady Eagles coming through with the kill. Milford's lead was 8-1. Now down to 8-4. Deflection out off of Sharon, so Milford getting their footing back, and now will send a pair of substitutions on the floor. Lobiser and Maeda. As Brianna will take over behind the service line. Seen some good play out on the court during this match for Milford. It's just a matter of putting it together on a more consistent basis. We've seen a lot of ups and a lot of downs as these first 3 sets have unfolded. Coach Seaver now all the way to the edge of the court for a few words with Kate Lobiser. And now Lobiser, those words from the coach paying dividends as she comes through with the kill. Kate saw a good amount of time on the court as a sophomore last season, as a junior last season. As we mentioned, a lot of seniors on the varsity roster a year ago. Harstick can't get the serve up and over the net. Sharon trailing by 4. Will send their senior captain and star, Jess Allen, behind the line. A hard serve punched at by Valenzola. A double hit by Milford. Another serve for Allen, pushed forward by Reichert. Now two-handed over by Juliana Tracy. Now a cross-court shot out on the far sideline. And the Sharon coaching staff pleading their case that that was a deflection off of the fingertips of Milford, but the call will stand as Milford takes an 11-7 lead. Kyra Alves, captain to Jess Allen. Now the flip shot over by Jada Johnson. And now well placed on the kill for Milford in that back far corner. Milford's lead in this set was as big as 7. It stands at 5 right now. Harstick, Lobiser tracking it down and flipped over by Valenzola. But a nice play by Abby Fine keeps it alive, and Sharon rewarded with the kill. But that all made possible by the junior Abby Fine traveling over towards the near sideline to keep that ball in play. You can definitely see a difference in the confidence of Sharon throughout this match. Even at times where they've been trailing, they have not been playing with their heads down. They've been confident in their abilities. Much different look to this group than when we saw them at the end of last season. Of course, at that point, it was the end of a very long season. With only 4 wins. Eliminated from playoff contention, so playing out the string at that point. But obviously much more on the line now for this team as they hope to position themselves for a playoff berth. Right now doing just that, keeping themselves above 500, hoping for a win here today to improve to 5-3. Milford with different ideas despite being down by a couple of sets. Lady Hawks jumping on top 14-8. Once again, the serve goes to the senior Emily Pierre Gustavo. Emily had a nice run on serve right at the tail end of that second set. It was not enough to get the team back in it. The deficit was too large, but team had a very good run, and now a nice kill from the left side for Milford. Reestablishes big lead for this team. It's now their biggest lead of the set so far at 8 points, now down to 7 after that serve was delivered long. Out onto the floor goes Ariana Shabbat. A total of 7 seniors on this team. Emily Pierre-Gustavo sticking the foot out to try to make the desperation play on that ball. Now Harstick to Pierre-Gustavo, set up on the right side for Kelly Reichert. A nice kill for the senior. So I talked about this Sharon team being all upperclassmen, juniors and seniors. There is one exception to that rule, and that is Jada Johnson, who is, in fact, a sophomore. So one lone underclassman represented on this varsity roster. You can certainly see why Jada Johnson's made some very nice plays tonight. Milford with another kill. Again, the lead is 8. Stays on serve. Now Alves to the front for Pierre-Gustavo. With her back to the net, Valenzola able to return it. Milford tries for the block, but ultimately Valenzola able to return it. And too many hits on the Sharon side. Milford now with a 19-10 advantage. Trying to extend this match to a 4th set. Sharon staying very calm, playing that ball off the net. Valenzola again up the middle. Off the hands of Jody Goldenberg. That ball drifting off the net. 10-point lead now for Milford at 20-10. More substitutions for the head coach of the Sharon Lady Eagles, Andrea Lovett. A hard shot from Macy Hyman, but Milford keeps it alive. Rifled into the net by Allen. (21-10). An impressive effort in this set so far for Milford, but can they finish the job? The service game finally comes to an end for Kelly Reichert. After doing some good work, that time the serve goes a bit long. Corey German initially going back to take over on serve, but ultimately it is Macy Hyman, the junior, who sends the shot over. Now Allen from the left side keeps it just inside that far sideline. Coach Lovett not liking what she's seeing out there on the floor, trying to get perhaps the formation stabilized, and could not quite communicate to the players out on the court, so taking the timeout. We'll take the timeout as well, with Milford up in this 3rd set 21-12, but it is Sharon with the 2-0 lead, and we will have more volleyball action when we come back next here on Milford TV. Bit of an extended timeout that time as the officials went through some logistics at the scorer's table, but now set to resume. Milford 4 points away from extending this match to a fourth set, and they get the kill. The scoreboard now reading 23-11, so Milford instead now just 2 points away from a set victory. As play continues now on the left side, Harstick returns it. Jess Allen to Jill Valenzola. Now Annabelle Murray trying to sneak that one in. No, she did not. The ball goes long. The lead still at a comfortable margin at 10 for Milford. And there is the sophomore again, Jada Johnson, with a nice play to get the kill. Sharon trying to go on a run with Macy Hyman, the junior, behind the service line. Harstick. Hyman able to slow the momentum of that hard attacking shot. Sharon ultimately able to return it. This time Hyman with the dive. But cannot dig it out, and Milford now with set point up 24-14. Substitutions out on the floor. It looks like it will be Brianna Maeda who looks to deliver Milford their first set victory here at home this season. Kicked alive by German, returned over by Naomi Topal. And now the flick shot over, nicely executed by Ariana Shabbat. Bluffing the set before returning it over the net and dropping it right down in the center of the floor, making it 24-15. Now Topal on serve. Lobisser to Topal. And now the double hit on the Sharon side, and Milford is able to win this third set 25-15. So just their fifth set win overall on the season, and what has been a very difficult early stretch for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. But again, their first set victory here on their home gym. So now a 2-1 score. Sharon still in front as these two sides will talk it over with their respective head coaches, and we will be back with set number 4 when we come back next here on Milford TV. Time to get this fourth set underway from the Milford High School Gymnasium. Sharon with a 2-1 lead on Milford. As Milford takes the opening point here in set 4, a 25-15 win in the third set for the Lady Scarlet Hawks to keep this match going. Now about to reach the 90-minute mark. Coming up on 7 o'clock in the evening here on October 3rd. The 1-7 Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks taking on the 4-3 Sharon Eagles. Not an easy season so far for the Lady Hawks. Certainly not an easy match here tonight, but hoping for a dramatic come-from-behind victory as right there Reichert and Pierre Gustavo collide. Emily with good effort going after that ball, but it might have been a little bit easier if she had left it for her senior captain. Now Pierre Gustavo drifting far over to the left side and off the hands of Annabelle Murray, and Sharon able to take an early 3-1 lead in this fourth set. And the serve quickly fired into the net by the Lady Eagles. 3-2 score now with Kelly Reichert behind the line, taking over on serve. Handled cleanly by Jess Allen. Now she'll send the attacking shot over. Emily Pierre-Gustavo setting it up nicely up front. Went a long way, but right on the money to Jill Valenzola. And now Sharon delivers it into the net. Three all in the early going of this set. The dig nicely on the back line by Corey German, but Rachel Brandis with her two-handed shot going into the net. And Milford now taking the lead up 4-3 as Kelly's serve continues. Soft shot over by Jody Goldenberg. Now Harstick to the back line for Alves. Now Pierre-Gustavo, the set for Valenzola. Diving play by Jess Allen. Now she beats the double team up front. Valenzola off the fingertips over. She gets the kill. Milford outlasting Sharon in a long point to take a 5-3 lead. Starting to feel a little bit of momentum developing on the Milford side. And now Sharon with the infraction. And it was building up a big lead early. I believe it was on the service game of Kelly Reichert that put Milford in position to claim that third set. They opened up an 8-1 lead right out of the gates in that third set and never relinquished the lead. Much closer score here in the early part of set number 4 with Milford up 6-4. Alves with the dig. Pierre-Gustavo, who has been ranging from sideline to sideline, making another play. She'll get to this one here. Instead, she leaves it behind for Alves. Now Reichert to the back line. Now it's Brandis setting it up nicely for Jess Allen. Pierre-Gustavo to the left side for Harstick, a hard smash, but Sharon keeps it going. Now the block in front by Valenzola, but Sharon keeps it alive, and they keep it just inside the near sideline. A couple of times you thought Milford had that point won. A lot of quick reactions from the Lady Eagles. And now just a 1-point margin as Brandis sends the serve over. Pierre-Gustavo for Harstick. Now Allen tried to time that to flip it over the outstretched arms of Annabelle Murray and Jillian Valenzola, but could not do it. And it's Milford now up 7-5 with the senior captain Valenzola on serve. Alves with a rest. Now this one flipped over towards the Milford bench. It actually drifts over the bench. Not playable. And back to just a 1-point Milford lead now at 7-6. And waiting to take over on serve is Naomi Topal. And that one just sneaking over the net. Miss hit by Valenzola as she went down to dig it. 7-all. Another serve for Topal. That one deflecting off the front line, and again, Valenzola just could not reposition herself. Again, Milford's last game came back on September 29th, a 3-0 defeat at the hands of North Attleboro. Milford's most competitive set was the third set. Pushed North Attleboro, ultimately losing it by a margin of 25-20. After losing the opening 2 sets by the identical margin of 25-10. So we saw a similar style match unfold here today, with Milford dropping the first 2 sets, playing more competitive in the third set. Here they were able to come through with a win in the third set. They had a lead here early on in the fourth set, trailing 9-7. You can make it now 9-8. As Sharon's Abby Fine checks back onto the floor. Milford cycling through their personnel as well. Brianna Maeda will serve it out. Loops it to the back line, met by German. Now Tracy pushes it over, and despite the diving attempt for Jess Allen, she could not get there. Juliana Tracy saw the hole on the Sharon side of the floor and exploited it for the kill. Knotted up 9-all. And once again, Sharon misjudging a Milford serve. Could hear multiple players calling that ball out. Instead, it stayed in. And Milford able to leapfrog back on top as Maeda gets the ace. This time played on the back line by Brandis. An all-out effort by Maeda after another ball went sideways off the hand of Jill Valenzola. And this hit results in the kill on the Sharon side. And now tied up at 10. As the serve comes from the hand of Jess Allen. Pushed in front. Maeda, nice job to redirect that ball, allowing Milford to return it over. That ball dropping down in front of a trio of players, and Coach Seaver relaying the message on the lack of communication. Another Sharon kill as Harstick went into the dive to no avail, and now a 12-10 lead for the visitors. A win for Sharon in this set would mean a match victory. A win for Milford would send us the distance to a full 5-set match. Sharon starting to gain some control of the action here, up now 13-10. Maeda for Tracy, a two-handed push, met by Fine. Now the dig for Valenzola, and a nice quick move on the left side for Harstick. And Harstick again, but could not clear the net that time. Coach Seaver with some words for the official on the floor after that last play. I'm not quite sure what the argument was, not particularly demonstrative out of Coach Seaver, just more of a conversation. But now a 14-11 score. Sharon in front, Milford back on serve. Now it's Harstick. Jada Johnson trying for the stuff, but Milford was there to block it. Sharon ends up with the point, now up by 4. Back out on the floor comes the junior Jody Goldenberg for Sharon. On serve, the sophomore Jada Johnson just sneaks it over the net. Reichert with a dive, now Pierre Gustavo with the dive, and Reichert in desperation just swatted at it, nearly sent it over the net, but it ends up falling short. And trouble brewing here as Sharon opens up a 16-11 lead. Again, softly hit by Tracy. Now Reichert to the back line, diving save for Jess Allen. And Juliana Tracy could not reposition herself in time, sends it into the net. And Johnson that time misfiring on the serve. It's 17-12 as Milford looks to the senior Kyra Alves on serve. The double hit for Sharon. Cuts the Milford deficit down to 4 as we are getting deep into this 4th set. Alves with a hard line drive serve that time. Maeda sending it back to Valenzola, who ends up seeing the deflection out off of Sharon for the kill. Now German to the back line for Alves. Hesitation for Valenzola that time. She thought it was going to clear the net. By the time she realized otherwise, could not make a clean play on the ball. That gives Sharon their 18th point of the set. Behind the line goes Ariana Shabbat. Harstick for Valenzola with her back to the net. That ball might have been heading out of play, but Sharon elected to keep it going, and ultimately Milford is the beneficiary as they get the point. And the tandem of Murray and Pierre Gustavo head back out onto the floor, replacing Lobiser and Maeda. Pierre Gustavo has had an effective service game tonight. But does not find the distance this time as she delivers the serve long. And a 19-15 lead for Sharon as this ball is returned over by Valenzola. And now a misfire by Shabbat. And now back on serve, Kelly Reichert. Jess Allen. Too good a shot, gets the kill. Rocketing that one over the net for another kill. A Sharon leader in that category. And now Valenzola has her attacking shot blocked up front. And the Lady Eagles now 4 points away from a match victory. There's Harstick, Pierre Gustavo, and now the libero, Kyra Alves, returning it over. A block for Valenzola. Keeps Milford close, 21-17. Valenzola with the serve, and she gets the ace. Dropping it down right in front of Corey German. Right back to work. And going after German yet again. Once again, Sharon can't return it. And Coach Seaver trying to ratchet up the intensity on the floor as Milford makes a push. But Valenzola with her serve ending up in the net. And Sharon now will look to Naomi Topal. Milford trying to stand their ground. Pierre Gustavo for Tracy, dug out nicely and back by German. And now her shot into the net. It cuts it now to a 2-point Sharon lead. As Coach Lovett will make some additional substitutions, as will Coach Seaver. Maeda back on serve with Milford down by just 2 points. Trying to even things up and force a 5th set. Maeda's serve going long. That time Sharon judging it accurately. 23-20. With the captain Jess Allen now on serve. Hard shot to the back line. Valenzola gets to it. Tracy, soft shot over. Now a couple of players going after it on both sides. It looked like Jill Valenzola might have gotten some hard contact up around the mouth. Now continuing to check the teeth as that ball ended up beyond her reach. And Valenzola right now looks to be in some pain, but trying to gut through it. And she'll now check out here, and Valenzola is definitely feeling it after that hard contact. So she comes off the floor. It is match point for Sharon as Reichert delivers it over. Sharon with the quick return, and that is that, 25-20. Sharon is able to take care of business here in the 4th set, and they take this match 3-1. Milford much more competitive in the later stages of this match, but ultimately digging themselves too big a hole early. And so Milford with another loss will drop to 1-8 overall on the season. Sharon ending a 3-game skid. They improve to 5-3. And unfortunately, the frustrations continue for this volleyball team here in 2017. They will look to try to right the ship in their next match. That's coming up on October 4th on the road against Oliver Ames before returning to the Milford gym again on October 6th to take on the Attleboro Lady Bombardiers. But that will wrap up our coverage here tonight. A big thank you to our crew on hand, our director Rob O'Keefe, and our camera operators Mike Sperling and Malcolm Zale. I am Tim Coette. That final score one final time. It was Sharon with a 3-1 victory over the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.